So we have been told over the past month that we have 25 days left of diesel before it is all gone. Now, that obviously has people very concerned, but that is not the truth. Now, just over 3 weeks ago, Tucker Carlson said that we have 25 days left of diesel. That was it. Well, here we are, about 3 weeks later. That means we only have a few days of diesel and everybody should be worried, right? Well, not necessarily. We have more than just a few days of diesel. Now, I want to address what is going on here. I want to give you a quick little update, talk about what the Biden administration is planning to do as far as diesel is concerned and as far as heating oil. And I want to give you a little bit of an update as to why we could potentially see additional inflation regarding diesel and gas prices. Now, let's talk about the truth first. The metric that Tucker Carlson was using when he gave this 25-day update, this metric, first, it only is keeping in mind of the reserves, the diesel reserves. That is it. Now, granted, our diesel reserves are at the lowest we have been in decades, which is very concerning. But does not mean we only have 25 days left of diesel. What this does mean is if the refineries stop producing diesel whatsoever, as of today, that means in 25 days, we would likely run out of diesel. Okay? So just keep that in mind. That is something that even media outlets are completely blowing out of proportion. We don't just have 25 days, from when the report was given. We have 25 days if and only if we see the refineries stop producing. Now, I personally, and I'm no expert, but I've listened to a bunch of experts. They all say they don't see this happening. And the reason why is because they are making so much money that why would a refinery stop producing diesel when the profits have been just record breaking? And obviously that makes sense. Now, I want to read you a few things that people have been saying because again, diesel impacts every single one of us. It really does. And whether you're buying a coat, whether you're buying food, whether you're, just to get diesel from one place to another, it takes a diesel truck. You want to get food from McDonald's to your house? Well, you got to get gas. Well, how do you get gas? Well, the gas truck brings it, right? Which takes diesel. It takes diesel in everything. Doesn't matter. Okay? Now, here's what a few people had to say about diesel. Caroline from Texas wrote to me and she said, I received an email from my boss today and it read, we will unfortunately be reducing everyone's hourly wage by $1 in order to make up for increased costs in shipping. We tried to increase our fees, but customers weren't having it, so this is our last hope before we begin layoffs. Sorry for the unfortunate news. That is insane. But these are also the steps that we see before layoffs. A company doesn't just come out and say, okay, we're going to lay off 10% of our staff. No. The company would come out, try to reduce costs. This is one of the ways that they're probably going to reduce costs. My guess is, reading this email, they tried to increase their fees. Didn't work. Customers didn't like it. They actually sold less of their services. And so now their last hope is to reduce their employees' wages. That's the last thing you can really do before you start laying people off. Another person, Baldwin from Oklahoma, wrote to me and says, I live in a small town in Oklahoma, and this past weekend, we didn't have any diesel anywhere within 40 miles. Instead of working my land, I had to drive to get diesel just to run my machines. Obviously, if you're a farmer and you cannot get diesel pretty much at a moment's notice, it's going to be tough to run your machines or to work your land. So obviously, you need diesel. And even Benny from Wisconsin wrote and says, here in Wisconsin, diesel is more than $2 more than regular gasoline. Now, I think this is interesting because what we are seeing from a lot of different lawmakers, mostly Democrats, is, hey, you should probably buy an electric vehicle. That's going to make it so that you can put more money back in your pocket because you don't got to spend that much money on gas. But the truth is, an electric vehicle, in most cases, are 2 or 3 times as expensive as a gasoline-powered vehicle. So right there, that is not something that's feasible either. Now, I said this before, the U.S. Diesel reserves have not been this low since 1951, in decades. And this is a major problem. Not only is our diesel supply at a record low, but demand is at record highs. It's extremely high. It is very high, being that we're now getting our supply chain back on track, right? We have had a bunch of issues over the past couple of years. People are traveling more. We need more products. The holiday shopping is about to be in full swing. Again, I'm making this video on November 23rd, one day before Thanksgiving. So holiday shopping is about 2 days away, or in some cases, tomorrow afternoon. Now, in addition to this, we also have a real threat, a serious threat coming on December 5th, where we could see a railroad strike. If we do, that would be a complete disaster, and here's the reason why. If right now, railroads, trains use diesel, right? And so here's the problem. If a train cannot run, and a train holds a lot of goods, a lot of cargo, if a train cannot move that cargo, the contingency plan at this moment is all those goods, all that cargo will be transported and moved onto a truck, and then it will be shipped across the United States. That is an issue because all those trucks will use additional diesel. It would be less efficient, and it would really hurt us in the long run, the short term as well. But again, we will have an answer on that in just 2 weeks. Now, one other thing that we're being told on this Thanksgiving holiday is that in the event there is a railroad strike, Congress would have no other option than to prevent a strike and demand the unions accept the deal that is on the table. And according to experts, they say this will be the only option. The only option. Simply because the U.S. economy would not be able to withstand another crisis. We already have to deal with inflation, interest rate hikes, consumers with less disposable income, and now we're getting reports of many companies looking to begin layoffs at the end of this year. That's what we're hearing. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, let's talk about what the Biden administration is planning on doing. Are they planning on increasing diesel supplies? Well, let me read you this from Reuters. Look at this. So from Reuters, it says, the administration is also considering whether to purchase diesel supplies and make them available to companies, a move that would keep supplies in the United States and out of the export market, the source said. The United States entered the winter season with historically low levels of diesel, unnerving White House officials who spent the past year trying to dampen soaring gasoline prices. White House officials have held at least 2 meetings with members of the oil industry to discuss ways to increase supplies of diesel. Here's the thing. All they're doing is discussing it. Now, this is a statement from a White House spokesperson. So, let me keep reading. After months of public spats, the two sides have described recent talks as more constructive. We're committed to working with lawmakers and industry to continue to prepare for all contingencies and protect American consumers. No option is off the table, White House spokesperson Abdullah Hassan said on Wednesday. Diesel is a workhorse of the economy, helping power most major industries and fueling deliveries of goods by truck, rail, and ship. Okay, let me touch on that for a second. Fueling deliveries of goods by truck. Yes, that's the case. However, we still have a shortage of truckers, of truck drivers. Also by rail. What happens if there's a railroad strike? Rail will be crossed off. There will be no rail. And then ship. Guess what? We still have that drought over there on the Mississippi River, which means that cargo ships, that barges are not able to move as much product. And actually, they are 50% less efficient simply because of the drop in the water level. So again, yes, there are very important things here, but rail and ships are not one that we can turn to and say, okay, let's move all our product that way. Because again, both of those are more efficient, but we got an issue. We have many issues with those right now. Now, this article also goes on to say distillate stockpiles, which include diesel and heating oil, rose by 1.7 million barrels last week. That's good, versus the expectation of a 550,000 barrel drop. Despite the rise, inventories remain lower than usual for this time of the year. Nearly 1 in 5 homes in the Northeast use diesel as a heating oil. The cost to heat a residence using diesel is projected to increase 27% over last year, according to the U.S. Energy Information Agency's winter outlook. Now, we're going to stop there. And the reason why we're going to stop there is because this is why we're seeing prices increase as well. Again, during the summer months, we're not using heating oil, right, diesel as heating oil to heat our homes. We're just not. We're trying to cool off our homes, not heat them. So in a time when we now have to heat our homes and a lot of households are using diesel, right, that's a problem. That is a major, major problem, all right? So I wanted to fill you in on what's going on because as of right now, there's a lot of people saying that, oh, we're going to run out of diesel. And honestly, I don't think we will run out. What I think is going to happen based off of all my research and listening to the experts is we're going to see an even bigger diesel shortage, which would mean prices are going to go up. It doesn't mean we're going to pretty much lose out. It just means they're going to go up, right? That's it. That's what I got for you guys today. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.